Okay, everybody. Well, how did you like that? We have a lot to talk about. Absolutely, it's going to be lovely. Wednesday, December 14th, 2022, status post, Fed day, Fed decision, blah, 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 bullshit, horseshit, dog shit, and even more. And I have a few words I want to get out here, people, so just sit back and freaking relax. That's what I'm going to do. All right, look, so no surprise to you. No surprise to me. We did get a 50 basis point hike. Okay. That wasn't the real story. And I know, at least I hope, that a lot of you, hopefully most of you, are watching the MMRI, Mannarino Market Risk Indicator, right after the announcement. Right after the announcement of the 50 basis point hike. The MMRI actually jumped higher a little bit. Stocks started to sell off. As a matter of fact, the low of the day on the Dow was about 400 in the red after being positive the whole entire morning. Okay, whatever. These days when the Fed comes out and then Powell opens his freaking pie hole, you get a lot of volatility here. But we have tells. You and I have a few tells that we're paying attention to. After it opened its pie hole, after it spoke, and it was just nonsense, okay? Tough talk, it's all garbage. The Federal Reserve right now, just so you know, is about 50 basis points away from its 5% terminal rate, and I don't think they're going higher than that. All right, so what does this tell you? What does this tell me? Well, what we expect. We're going to probably get another 50 basis point hike and then a pause, or maybe a 25 and a 25 and then a pause, or a 25 and then a pause. We'll talk about that when we get closer here. So whatever came out of its mouth this morning with his tough talk, it sounded kind of tough to me. Although he admitted right out of his freaking mouth. Hold on, I had to write this down. The economy has slowed significantly. So he's admitting the economy is slowing down. This is what they're trying to do. They don't want a booming economy. They don't want people out here who are actually earning more money. They're going to keep them under pressure by making sure inflation stays elevated, for which he said inflation will remain elevated for a substantial time. Okay, duh. But two things are going to happen, people. You're going to get, we know already what's going to happen here. Like I said, we're going to get another hike of 50 basis points, more than likely. The ECB, European Central Bank, because these banks always work in tandem. Same kind of scenario here. And I really think the market's going to end up liking this. And I'll tell you another little secret in case you don't know already. But if you pay any attention to what's happening here, you have projections with regard to earnings for next year, and they're pretty much, in the toilet. If earnings come up even slightly good or less than abysmally horrible, well, the market's going to get orgasmic over that. So in my opinion right now, gauging from, look, Powell's playing poker here, all right? He's trying to play a tough position. If you play poker, you understand that someone that is pretending to be strong is generally weak. Someone that's pretending to be weak is generally strong. So his tough talk is, to me at least, broadcasting to the market and to me, gauging from the drop in the MMRI after it opened its mouth, the drop in the 10-year yield, and the relative dollar strength weakness, the market's saying, talk tough all you want. We know what you're going to do, you imbecile. And that means, again, the easy money is going to keep going here, and he's going to be much less aggressive moving forward because, again, the Federal Reserve is nearly at its 5% terminal rate. We're like 50 basis points away. But what you can expect is the economy to continue to crater. You see this? I've done this for you forever. Economy, market. Economy down, market higher. We're not even in bear market territory anymore with regard to the stock market. And again, like I said, if earnings come in anything less than absolutely horrible first quarter next year, where do you think stocks are going to go? Let's just put that together here. If you are a stock market guy like myself, you're watching and listening to everything that's going on here. You're taking what comes out of its mouth today, his faking strength as weakness. That's what I did, okay? And we can expect moving forward exactly what I have outlined. Today was no surprise to anybody with this 50 basis point hike. We're going to get another one, maybe a 25, followed by another 25. But that's it. Okay, so you can see where this is going to go. Central banks, the Federal Reserve, you can count on one thing. One. Are you ready for what that one thing is? They're going to keep rates suppressed from here until kingdom come and beyond, whatever the hell that freaking means. You understand? Understanding that rate suppression is going to go on in perpetuity. It's never going to stop. That should tell you something here. That the Fed is going to continue to make sure that the stock market gets propped up until it doesn't. And look, there's the big clue for you and I as well. I set up the MMRI for all of you and myself, okay, so we can gauge with a high degree of accuracy as to where this is going to go. The fact of the matter is, after it spoke today, come out of his freaking mouth, well, we watched the MMRI drop. Okay, we know where the line in the sand is. It's at 300. They're not going to allow it to go above 300. My take is very simple. I believe we're going to see the MMRI stabilize here or even come down from where we are, especially moving into next year here. And I'll just say it one last time. If earnings come in anything better than abysmal, well, where do you think stocks are going to go? And this is going to continue. This shit show here is going to continue until it doesn't. And there's no it doesn't guessing. You and I have the MMRI. We understand what we're looking at here, the drivers of the market, the 10-year yield, the relative strength of the dollar. Oh, we have it down, okay? So there's no guesswork. Me, what did I do today? Let me explain this to you. I already told you. I said if the market fell under pressure after it opened its mouth, I was going to jump in here and buy more, and I did. I bought more, ticker JEPI. I think moving forward, understanding, looking just down the road a little bit here, realizing today was a big clue here that we got a 50 basis point hike, and this is where it's going to go. The Fed at one point will stop hiking and I believe possibly even start cutting rates at one point here. Where do you think the market's going to go? Especially, as I said, with earnings. If they come in even remotely okay, what do they always do? What are you and I clear about? Okay, these corporations here, they always guide lower. They guide lower, okay, with forward guidance where they're going to go. So if they outperform or they do better than they've deliberately guided lower, well, people get, they get orgasmic over it and they go, I got to buy it. I got to buy. I got to buy. I got to buy. That's just going to happen here. So with regard to the economy, out of his own mouth, he sees the economy slowing, moving forward, and it already has slowed significantly. You think that's going to stop anytime soon? Absolutely not. Do you believe for a nanosecond that people aren't going to continue to borrow beyond their eyeballs, party like it's 1999? You remember that whole thing here? You go out and you go to the stores and you're looking at all these freaky people. They're all slaves to debt, and all they know to do is borrow more and more and more, and then more on top of that. So when you're at the store or at a restaurant or wherever you happen to be, and you say, hey, there's a lot of people in here. They must be doing well. Actually, the polar opposite is true. They're borrowing beyond their eyeballs just to maintain that illusion here. And shopping gives people a little bit of a tickle, between the legs over there. I'm going to buy this. Oh, yeah, I'm going to buy that too. And I'm going to swipe that credit card. Oh, yeah. That's what they're going to do. That's what people always do. They're looking for the instant fix. There's no such thing as, sitting back and waiting anymore. Everyone wants that fix right now. It's a drug. Shopping is a drug. Borrowing is a drug. They all know that. The banks, the institutions. Anyway, with regard to the banks and institutions, they're in a lot of trouble. You already know this. No deals, no loans, no savings deposits. That should tell you something else. But the savings rate now in the negative, you think these people are doing really well? No, they're swiping that credit card. That's all they're doing. And at one point, those chickens are coming home to roost, whatever that means. But that's a fact. Anyway, so I think today we learned a lot here. Okay, we got this act. It's a circus act. Okay, in my view, he's weak as hell. Okay, and he understands Powell. Feigning strength, pretending to be strong is weakness here, and he knows for a fact that the Fed is going to end up, like I said, at one point, probably cutting rates, moving sometime, maybe at the end of next year, we'll start getting some rate cuts here. They're going to do everything they can to continue to inflate the debt beyond your wildest dreams, and then even worse than that. They're not going to stop. And then at one point, they're going to pull the rug. They're going to pull the rug out. But you and I do not have to guess. Keep your eyes on that MMRI. It is the number one best risk indicator you're ever going to find, and it's free to you and anybody else who wants to look at it. Again, link in the description of this video. And today, despite what came out of its mouth, the market's calling his bluff. I mean, we watched the MMRI drop after him pretending to be strong. He's not strong, he's weak. And I think that should be obvious for most of us here. So what else happened today? Gold and silver nothing did too much today. Bitcoin, gold and silver, even the market. I mean, yes, we finished slightly in the negative after being down substantially, being higher earlier in the day, but we'll let the market digest this. You have to understand, market participants, they're all going to sit back and ponder all these, and I believe, first of all, you and I are way ahead of the curve, okay? I believe I'm able to read the truth behind things and relay that to you. At least I hope that's the case here. And I want to hear from you. If you had the displeasure, as I did, to listen to what came out of its mouth, do you feel the same way? I would have to bet that most of you do here. And we see what they're doing. We knew that he was going to raise 50 basis points before anybody else started talking about it. Was I even slightly concerned about that much? All right, I really didn't want to be wrong here. It's very possible that we could have got a 75 basis point hike, but I don't think so. Look, this thing, he wants to keep the market propped up, and I'm telling you, a Santa Claus rally really does look like it's going to occur to me based on looking at the MMRI action today, 10-year yield, relative strength of the dollar, crude oil catching a bid over the past several days as well, and you haven't seen anything yet with regard to energy, people, so just get your head around that. With that said, I hope you got something out of this video. I really do. If you like this video, if I said something you like, please hit that thumbs up. I appreciate it. If you think I'm totally off base, let me know. I will read the comment. Look, I'm just telling you what's on my mind and how I feel. I give it to you as straight and as hard as I possibly can. Wrong or right, that's how I operate. And some people can handle it. It's the truth. But look, am I right all the time? Absolutely freaking not. Nobody is. We come out here, you and I. We're playing a game of incomplete information. It's what this is. It'll never be a game of complete information because it's always changing. So trying to fill in those gaps sometimes can be challenging. And that's why you get it wrong once in a while. We all do. All right, there's just no doubt about it. But if we could stay on the right side of it for the most part, which clearly we do, we're doing pretty darn good. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, this guy here loves you a lot, and I mean that from the heart. Please get this video out there. Share it. I count on all of you to get this material out there. All right? I'll see you in the morning.